breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't feel. Mike's where the page lies, it's about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? We are tracking Elsa. And Elsa only as our cop amphibious machine drives away. There's our boy Louis. So hey, good morning everybody. That was all footage from last year Ada, by the way. Ada, November. I guess local TV's been showing it a lot, which is pretty cool. That's kind of why I storm chase. We got lucky last year. A lot of the footage was used on a lot of national shows during Ada. So we got a little press this morning. NBC's been showing it a lot. So anyway, good morning. It's Mike's Weather Page here, Drunk Donkey Nation. Good morning, Coneheads. We are Coneheads because we're always in the cone of uncertainty. This storm, especially now with Florida, feeling it first. And we're going to go really hardcore talking about what's happening first and then what could happen. This is the kind of we're getting to the point where everybody kind of knows what to expect. We're in this little window maybe of 6-8 hours that we have to watch close to see if there's any possibility that Elsa can get a little more organized. So that's what I'll be doing. So again, hey everybody, this is an unofficial site. If you need official information, I know we got 1 million followers, but don't take anything I say too serious. National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, your go-to places. Always, 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 always. Hey Sandy Haas. Sandy Haas here in Tampa, I think, right Sandy? You've been sharing some pretty cool stuff. Let's pop in our ABC here and say hello to ABC real quick, and then we'll get cooking. There's a little Hunter, by the way. All right, so we're going to give everybody a little more time to get logged in. It takes Facebook a little while to notify everybody. Yeah, hey Melissa, these are the official watchdogs of hurricane season. We actually have a shirt that says the official watchdogs of hurricane season. So huge thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida. They're the first big corporate company that believed in Mike's Weather Page and support what I do, and we love them to death. They're here in Florida, so if you're stocking up on hurricane supplies, meaning alcohol, give them the business. They support us here. Oldest family run liquor store in the state of Florida since the 30s, man. They were around during bootleg and moonshine days, man. That would have been fun driving an old 30s hot rod bootlegging through the dirt roads, man. I could outrun a few cops. Not like I've ever done that. All right, say goodbye to Hunter. All right, so here's what we got. I can't really give too many personalized as much as I would. I'm going to give you all the scenarios of what's going on, and then we'll go into more what could happen. So we're going to look at facts first, and then we'll go into more models and whatnot. So here's the latest 5 o'clock track. This was at 5 a.m. They do issue an 8 o'clock advisory that's more of new position and winds. They don't adjust the track at 8. We've been seeing a slow little shift here to the east. Every advisory, 11 o'clock, and this morning's 5 o'clock, we've had a little bit of bump to the east. Doesn't mean much. It just means if this thing stays strong, then the west coast of Florida is more guaranteed to feel the effects here. So we got a hurricane watch up. That's new. Hurricane watch was posted at 5 o'clock. And there you go. There's the latest track. Keeps it really close to Pinellas County and turns it in. This is the latest 5 a.m. track. All right. Expected to be right offshore tonight here, 2 a.m. 70 miles an hour now is the official speed it's supposed to be. So 4 miles below hurricane strength. Smokey, I try, buddy. Tracy's got a visit from Elsa. Everybody go to the Disney store and buy up Elsa Halloween costumes, and let's all dance in the streets holding up MWP signs. And we'll see if we get on the Weather Channel or any Fox or NBC or anything. Maybe we can make some national press. Only in Florida. All right, so the areas in pink here, these are storm surge warnings. I've been posting a lot about the potential for storm surge in the Tampa Bay area. I'm going to go over that in a little bit. Almost exactly the same expected heights that we saw during Ada. So very curious if we're going to see what we saw during Ada. If you live on the west coast of Pinellas County, even down into Manatee, Sarasota, if you're in a flooding prone area, this is going to be passing by 11, 10 o'clock northward, 10, 11, midnight, 1, 2 o'clock, Pinellas, Pasco. And I'm going to share some more graphics I did on that with the high tide. High tide is going to be right around when the storm's passing. So definitely take that serious. And everybody that keeps making the funny comments that, oh my God, it's just a tropical storm. Well, you know, there were literally hundreds of homes flooded during Ada. Dozens of water rescues during Ada. And I know of a dozen people or so that lost pretty much their whole house and all their belongings because of Ada. So you can laugh about it all you want, but in tornado threat, we're going to go over that here real quick. So anyway, it's official speed is supposed to be 70 miles an hour tonight, 2 a.m. Then it's going to trek up here, so we can get Tallahassee. I don't know. You guys are right on that edge. I don't know if you're going to get much out of this. This thing keeps checking more to the east. So remember, the strongest stuff's always on the eastern side. So, but we could still see tropical storm tomorrow, 2 p.m. nearing the Florida-Georgia line tomorrow. This is 2 p.m. And then we got a tropical storm watch up now for Georgia and South Carolina as our depression then curves around. We showed this. You're going to get a lot of rain. We'll go over all that. Should exit right around Virginia Beach and then return back to a storm again. This is 2 a.m. Thursday, July 9th. Let me make sure that's right. July 9th, 2 a.m. I always have to check. So there you go. And then it's long gone by the weekend. We got fans up in Nova Scotia. Could get a little crazy there for y'all as a subtropical system. Winds up to 45. So let me turn down my buzzer because it'll be going crazy. All right. Everything's a drinking game. Yes. Hello from Vero Beach. What's up, Jane? Hey, Kathy. Yes, Kathy, I was in St. Pete. I took a lot of video. There was a lot of flooding in St. Pete. Let's see. So there you go. All right, so there's that. Watches. We'll see how strong the storm is up here. A lot of people asking about this area, but if the storm core stays over land, then we're just talking more rains. Coastal areas could possibly get squalls coming in that I'm going to show future radar. But that's the official. There's the official. We'll get a new official cone at 11 o'clock, and we'll see if there's any changes in thinking. Currently, here you go. Here's your rain forecast. Yellow is 4 to 6. Isolated more. We showed this little pocket down here yesterday as our storm treks off here. These little tails come in and follow behind. So we could have heavy rains into tomorrow for the west coast of Florida as this system pulls northeast. So keep that in mind. We'll be watching out here in the Gulf tomorrow morning for trailing rains. And there's your rain all the way up, 2 to 4 inches all the way to Carolina. What else we got? Here is your flood map potential, and we got red. This is pretty high, moderate chance here for flooding in red. This is through today mainly, and then tomorrow the storm flooding map shifts as our storm moves. So there you go, flooding potential, flash flooding potential. Here's your storm surge latest, 3 to 5 feet from top of the bay all the way down to Inglewood. So 3 to 5 foot, including Tampa Bay. That's pretty high. We'll see what happens there. There is a storm surge warning up. We can show you that here on the NHC site. Storm surge warning. They give you a disclaimer. You have to say, I'm over 18 and I will watch weather responsibly. So anywhere in pink is storm surge warning. Now they have another tool. We haven't really showed this much this year. I have a bunch of links here. Storm surge map, surge potential. Surge map here kind of tells you the worst case scenario for your area. If you click category 1, let's just say it is a category 1. These are the highest surge values you could possibly see if all other conditions are right. It's very confusing, these surge maps, because if a storm, let's say, passed here, which is, we're not talking this storm, but if a storm passed here, this wouldn't happen because all the surge water mainly would come in from the south side. So a lot of this is the worst case scenario maps, but with our storm passing like it is, then we are going to get water on this whole trek as it pushes northward and then eventually northeast. So definitely watching, surge in this area. We've got surge warnings up as far south too as Charlotte and Cape Coral areas. So storm will be making its closest pass though right around high tide, midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock. So we're going to go into that more. But that's a good map. There's another map I got, surge potential map. This is by NOAA, and it's just another one that kind of gives you a hint. You can change the parameters here and change the legend, base maps, and all kinds of good stuff. So that's another good map. And then, of course, the National Hurricane Center has this map, the storm surge inundation, kind of the same one that we just showed, but it's a little more linked to our storm now, and shows the areas that we could be seeing potential for surge specifically. So not showing anything up here, I'm surprised, but storm surge is very hard to predict. You just kind of have to know the facts. So anyway, so best piece of advice at this point in the game is look at radar. Okay, I mean, we know it's coming. We know that there's stormy squalls. Here you go. Here's the latest look here. The pink line, the purple line, pink line, lavender line is the expected track. And you see a little bump there at the beginning to the end. That's the 11 o'clock track, and then this radar adjusts to the new track, so it bumped to the east. But looking healthy on radar. We already got a squall line here pushing north. We talked about these squall lines are going to start coming in later today, and they're going to be pushing northward throughout the day today. around our system. We got dry air over here that we're going to talk about that is kind of choking our system a little bit on the west side. But eventually when our system comes up here, then these squalls are going to start coming in even harder off of the Gulf of Mexico, and they can make their way inland throughout the day. So, everything's counterclockwise flow. When the storm's here, we're going to be getting, still get rain bands here and then coming up as it moves away. So it's going to rain. These squall lines are already nasty. We got some approaching Lakeland now. They're going to get stronger as the day goes. So, and we got a storm threat. They haven't issued a tornado watch yet, but I'm sure they will. We got a new updated storm prediction map here, and slight risk means we could have tornadoes develop in this yellow area and dark green for all that matter. So pretty much the whole peninsula, you got tornado chances today. So yeah, I am going storm chasing, Amanda. I know some people hate it. I'm sorry, but I'm doing it. Like I said, by about 3-4 o'clock today, everybody's going to know exactly where it's going. There's not going to be any huge. The only thing, if this, my only fear would be this. So we're under hurricane watch. Man, if this thing decided to become a hurricane, minimal hurricane, just minimal, set 4 miles an hour. If they had to issue a hurricane warning, it would be absolute mad chaos, man, because some areas are forced to do evacuations. They got to do shelters. I hope it doesn't come to a hurricane warning at this point in the game, because that would be tonight, and there would be chaos. So they're hoping that this thing stays tropical storm. 4 miles an hour is not that big a difference. The title is huge, and the 4 miles an hour is nothing. 70 mile an hour to 74 doesn't mean crap. It's the title of a hurricane warning versus watch. But anyway, hey, thanks, Eric Kilmer. So yeah, we're getting a lot of great information passed on here. Windy app's great. Don't lose a flip flop. Yeah, good point. I should probably bring backup shoes. Thank you, Karen. Yep, Shelly's awesome. So is Phil. Phil works great. I know airports are starting to close. I'd be surprised if the Lightning game, or that's tomorrow night actually. So they're good. I know they canceled the Rays game. What's up, Whitney? So the keys. All right, let's talk about that. So we got tornado threat. Here's a cool map, and then we're going to go into some more live stuff. Okay, spaghetti models. We did get the 12Z though. Look at this. Let's see if they shifted. God, it's just so hard to see with so many damn models. All right, so here's tropical tidbits. And, we did... Somewhere under those lines is Tampa. Hi! They can't see me. So we might have had a shift track change with the spaghetti models. I mean, if this thing goes due north, then definitely it's going to impact Tampa south a little bit more. So it's kind of hard to tell with those. There's so many damn spaghetti models. I don't know if the NOAA site, how that updates with all the main models. So I have to be careful. Some of these don't update right away. So see, they're that's not right. So I don't know if we're gonna get. Let's see here. All right, those are a little more fresh. I hate the colors. Let's turn the colors off. Colors are just solid. Let's just do solid colors. So yeah, these are some little easier way to look at them. So all of them keeping it really, 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 really close to the west coast, turning up there in the Big Bend area. Ensembles, I guess we can look at some ensembles. GFS trending too far. That's not GFS. There's GFS. UK, Euro, Canadian. There's Navy. So no big changes, I guess, with the spaghetti model. It's too close for spaghetti models right now. So we're covered in spaghetti. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm sure I got a bottle. I'm sure I got a dang bottle of spaghetti sauce in the cupboard, and I should go outside and start flinging it up in the air, and let's see if anybody gets it. What's up, Florin Parish? Eat your hurricane snack. Everybody should be fine. True. Unless you get, definitely more coastal concerns and strong wind gusts and potential for tornadoes. All right, so here's an official map. These are your threats and impact map. I'm going to link these to the site because they have them for different offices. So here is your potential wind threat. And it's starting to extend upwards like we talked about yesterday. Yellow is potential for winds 39 to 57 miles an hour. And they do go all the way up into the Carolinas. Orange is 58 to 73 miles an hour. And that makes sense, right? Storm coming up, starts to curve, and there's your big winds. So Tallahassee's right on that edge of potential for winds, by the way. I get a lot of people asking about Tallahassee. But Gainesville, Ocala, Homosassa, near in the state line, near in Jacksonville, we could have strong winds. And this would be later tonight, like going into tomorrow morning for this area. More like 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Down south here, it might be evening hours into 10, 11 o'clock tonight for the Tampa Bay area. All right, tornado threat. Here is your tornado threat. I posted this yesterday, and somebody's like, why are you sharing they're like, why are you drawing colors and making unofficial forecasts to scare people? Somebody said I was scaring people. Well, this is a NOAA site, weather.gov. It's not me making it up. This is their graphic. Hey, what's up, Amanda Gonzalez? Lyric is watching. Yeah, we got a cool fan. What's up, Lyric? Thanks for being a fan, man. Meatballs, Darnell. Yeah, I love good meatballs. All right, so here's your tornado threat. Yellow stretching all the way to the Carolinas. This obviously is not today. This is when the storm heads that way, more into Wednesday, Thursday. But orange is potential for several tornadoes. So we got to watch for that today. Squall lines coming in off of the Gulf, a little bit of daytime heating. We'll see. Going to be a lot of shear coming in from the south, west, and that combines with our spiraling motion, and sometimes they spin little tornadoes. So we'll see about that. Flooding rain, we got kind of covered that a little bit. This is the same graphic, just showing you the heavy rains, and then the storm surge threat is where the storm surge warnings are at. So I'm sure we'll get a tornado watch. We got a little storm surge possibility now showing up here, Brunswick, Savannah area, south of Savannah, but and this makes sense as our storm heads that way. So we'll keep an eye on this down the road. I'm going to link this too, so I'll put this on the site somewhere on the top, somewhere up here. So I shared this yesterday. This is the NWS winds, gust, waves map. It loads extremely slow, but it's from the National Weather Service, and it's a great map to show potential timing of winds and rain. There you go. I'm not going to even try to load it. It loads so slow. I don't know why. Every year it loads slow. But here's, let's just go forward. Let me just click one button here. Let's do Wednesday. Let's just do Wednesday. This is 12 a.m. Let's see if it loads. It will load. It just takes a while. Let me zoom in a little bit. We'll give it a chance to load. I'm going to read comments while it loads. How many times did I just say load? Hey, Michael, how much rain do you think we'll have? Well, they're predicting, I showed you that graphic. I'll show you. I don't know where you live at. It's slowly coming. This is like the slowest server. It's taking time to load. You can see them coming up. I don't know if the whole world is on. I don't even think anybody knows about this site. But man, it takes forever. It's every year it does the same thing. But anyway, it'll at least tell you. I gotta wait for this thing now. There it is. Woo! We got victory. All right, so This is midnight. This is your expected wind speed. We can go wind gusts miles per hour, and see what it does. It's gonna take a while to load again. Let's see if when it pops up here, the new data. So this is from the So play with it. I got the link. You can change everything, graphics, winds, as it's trying to load the new data up here. So terrible. Buy a new server. Carol, they had an issue. I think there's lightning. They're not allowed to take off or something. So the next flight is this afternoon. So, here's your winds. You play with it. But so here's your rain map, by the way. Somebody's asking about the rain map. There you go. Anybody in yellow can experience 4 to 6, isolated more. So that's that. Let's take a look at this now, right? Boom! All right, so weathernerds.org. Now we're going to start looking at models and stuff. This is weathernerds.org. Luckily, that big ball of convection has died off a little bit. But, man, we had a huge blow-up of convection right outside the Keys, and we got a lot of people from the Keys here. You can see it blowing up. A lot of lightning. It just poofed, but, man, the 500 millibars is not stacked perfectly under the lower level winds, so it's getting some shear. So it's not really doing anything yet, but this is basically where the center is, right where this blow up occurred, right there. So we'll watch that. You can kind of see the lower level spin here. It's kind of hard to see here, but let me let's see if we can go to cyclonic weather. He's got a really good red, green, blue satellite image. There you go. That's beautiful. All right, let me stop it. Let me go to the end here. All right, so here's current satellite on cyclonicwx.com. So this is your outer bands, lower level. You can see them spin. I'm going to hit it play, but focus right here, and you'll see that the lower level circulation is probably somewhere here, even though all this blow up is here. So this usually indicates it's not very stacked, and we are getting some shear. So that big blob is, center's not here. It's actually right there. But you can see the spin. Let me put it on now. You can see the lower level spinning here. So that, the center is not where the main convection's at. And this is typically a weaker system, meaning like not Cat 3. It could still be hurricane watch is up, but this is an indicator that it's staying a little more weak, and it's going to take time to try to develop. So, time is not on its side. I mean, anybody worried about a major hurricane, this is very unlikely. So this is not a Michael, this isn't an Andrew, this isn't going to blow up into some Cat 5. So I usually say never, but that's my bold prediction. And hope you got your Louis cup. This was like 3 years ago. This was before Hunter was born. We made this cup before little Hunter was even born. So hey, Susan Proper. Well, the center is going to be probably just a little bit north of the Keys. We'll have a new center fix from the National Hurricane Center in about an hour. And like I said, the hurricane hunters had a little issue, it looks like, and they're not out there flying, so they're going to have to wait for their next flight. The 8 o'clock advisory put it just west of Key West. So it's definitely trucking along right here along that path. So, any little shift, but again, we're not talking... good thing we're not talking about a hurricane. You remember Hurricane Charlie was a 2, 3, 4 there at the end. So a shift meant a lot. I mean, the effects, the only thing that would change really is if this thing theoretically did this, then Tampa Bay area would get, all this expected would never happen. But as far as effects go inland and stuff, everything would be the same. So the biggest deal with the track change is if we get a more of a direct hit, surge might not be as bad in Tampa Bay because it wouldn't have time to push all that water in. So that's why this west track is the big key on surge as our system passes. Most of the surge would not end up in Tampa Bay. We would have more of a surge event, south of Tampa Bay. So that's why the track is kind of important. But when we're talking about that big blob, the surface winds are still there, regardless of convection. I got a good wind map here too. ELSA wind analysis. And you can kind of get an idea where the big winds are, obviously, here to the east side. This is great. This is satellite-deprived information showing you all the different wind scats and information out there on the winds. So that's a link to the page. Let's look at visible satellite and see. We'll just leave it right here on what this is Weather Nerds. We'll leave it right here for now, and see what you guys are saying. Hey Joe, what are you talking about? So this is going to be interesting. This track is, if this thing goes due north, there's going to be a lot of places that aren't going to get much north of Tampa Bay, but it is expected to stay on that west coast track here with the main convection firing throughout the day. So power outages, a lot of people ask about power outages. Man, it's hard to predict this kind of stuff, but with all the ground that's completely saturated, Florida's had unbelievable rains in the peninsula, and it's still ongoing in the upper Gulf Coast from that lingering front. But we are going to get higher than usual power outages because the ground's already saturated. So high winds blow down trees, but the root systems are sogged, and that's why we'll probably have higher than normal power outages. We already had we had supporters yesterday reporting power outages in Tampa from that squall line that came through 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday because the ground's just so wet. All right. So there you go. So I gave you the wind maps. A lot of it depends on the squall lines. Tropical systems. The outer bands are the bands that bring in the tropical storm conditions. The core of the system, the heaviest winds based on the current track, would obviously stick closer to the coast. These are sustained winds, but the squall lines are what Let's take a look at high resolution radar just for Florida, for example, and give you a good idea what to expect, what it could look like. I mean, there's no way that you can predict these squalls down to the minute, but the HRR should do a good job showing the possibilities and throughout the day. So here's 10 o'clock, there's 11 o'clock, here's noon, and here's 1 o'clock. Things really start bubbling on both sides of the coast. This is today, 1 o'clock. And they're spiraling in. This is 3 o'clock. There's our potential eye-like feature. This is 3 o'clock today. So look at this bands. Whoops! Holy cow! I just went back to the future. So here's 3 o'clock. God darn it! I just did it again. Back to the Future 2. Now I'm going to be going to the Wild West. Next one. Damn it! Let's get it right. Pointer and then go around the buttons. All right. So this is 3 o'clock, and you can see the banding already showing up, coming in off the Atlantic. I mean, even the Bahamas might get a little bit. So and then what happens? These bands get refueled out here in the Gulf, and then they start coming in on the south side. Key West still going to get hammered tonight. I shouldn't say hammered. That's kind of that might be a hype word, unless you use it in another sense, like hammer nails. But this is 3 o'clock, and let's see what else we got. So here's 5 o'clock. Heavy banding. Here's approaching midnight. Let's go to midnight. Here's midnight. There's more banding, strong storms, midnight tonight. Nobody should ask about timing after me showing you this. Here's the H-Warp showing a potential eye. Here's 3 a.m. banding, rain training. Tomorrow, this is 3 a.m. tonight, tomorrow morning. There's more potential storms. So you just get the idea. Any time he plays. Now here's 5 in the morning. This is when we're going to start getting these potential tails coming in from behind. So 5 a.m. tomorrow. And then let's just fast forward to 10 tomorrow. Daytime heating. Storms fire up again. So even tomorrow, we're going to have action coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. And then it starts to pull out of here. This is tomorrow, 3 p.m. So still tails of our tropical system, possibly. And look, we even got a wraparound coming through Tallahassee, possibly. So, it's just the HRR. Sometimes these mesoscale models do a good job. And then let me just go to the end here. This is Thursday midnight. So now it's off to the southeast. Let's go take a look at that now. Let's fast forward to what we could see there for the southeast. And let's fast forward to, let's say right here. So tomorrow 7 a.m. we can start getting bands through Jacksonville northward tomorrow 7 a.m. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow. Then our eye starts pulling out. Here's 10 o'clock in the morning. Here's noon tomorrow. So noon to 1 o'clock tomorrow, the bands are pushing up. Now this is when we're going to start getting a little more energy coming in off of the Atlantic, pulling in more. And that's why we got a surge possibility here and possible tropical storm watches up. So as we go into midnight tomorrow, here's 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and here's some lingering front that's going to get sucked up into it. This is Wednesday midnight, Thursday morning, and right on schedule. South Carolina was always overnight Thursday morning. This is 4 a.m. Thursday morning, with the heavier stuff hitting North Carolina more Thursday morning, midday. So more midday Thursday morning, midday Carolina, Virginia, more overnight Wednesday, Thursday morning for South Carolina, and there you go. So interesting. We'll see what it looks like. All right, let's look at some other models here. I like models. Don't forget to type the word spaghetti when you type up models, because you get a lot of models. Somebody asking to cancel. Hey, hip hip hooray for Shelly. What's up, Bill Lauderdale? Christy, I don't use the Red Cross app. I kind of look at everything on Radar Scope. Richard, I'd go down there and bungee cord that mailbox. Hey, Thomas, wind speed? We could, we're in that up towards 70 mile an hour wind gust range. All right, so what does Shelly do? What are they all complimenting you over there, Shelly, for? All right. I wish I could give everybody individualized effects, but I kind of went over a little bit of what to expect. I hope. All right, so timing again. This is a great map. Timing of possible tropical storm force winds. People are asking the Carolina Wednesday p.m., 8 p.m. You could possibly start to see the North Carolina, South Carolina line tropical storm force winds. We could see tropical storm force winds in the coast of New Jersey, possibly Thursday night. All on the coast. Friday night, Friday 8 p.m. here, clearing out Maine. So this is a good map. Kind of looks like a rocket. Maybe something else. Elsa's fooling us. All right, we're going to look at some individual models here. There's nothing really else brewing. in the tropics. We're not going to worry about it. We need a break. All right. So let's look at the latest H-Wharf. We love the H-Wharf. There's tropical tidbits. Let's take a look at H-Wharf. H-Wharf, let me reduce the size a little bit. All right, so I know that's what you guys are seeing. I fixed my screen now so what I see is what you see. All right, so the latest H-Wharf 6Z, not showing, well, a little stronger, 998. 1004 right off the coast here, and takes it up 998, and there you go. So borderline cane with the H-Wharf, 998, probably not, if that's what the pressure was at. H-Wharf has a great imagery on rains. This is later today, Tuesday. You know, the rain bands that we've already showed. But, you know, here's a look at midnight, 1, 2 o'clock tonight. So there's a chance, you know, for overnight strong storms tonight. Definitely have your weather radios on. Make sure your phones are charged tonight. You know, we could have these squall lines produce pop-up tornadoes. Richard, yeah, H-Wharf's always high. Last year it did a little better, though. We'll see. All right, so there's that. So no big changes with the H-Wharf. The H-Mon, sometimes good. Let's take a look at that. Same thing, 1004 millibar. Nobody's, you know, what we're looking here to see if there's any huge changes in thinking as far as center goes. Latest GFS, 1002 millibars, really close to the coast, pulls up north. So everybody's on the same line of thinking. Let's look at the latest Euro. We got the 6Z out. Let's take a look at the, we'll look at the overnight 2 a.m. run, and then we'll look at the 6Z that just came out and see what we got. So the latest Euro overnight, 993. So the Euro has definitely been the most aggressive, 985. So, you know, it predicts 1,000 millibar later this morning. We'll see if that pans out. But it predicted 1,000 millibar, and then it, you know, it shows a little ramp up, 998, 993, 985. That's definitely borderline hurricane. And then 992. So the Euro is definitely thinking hurricane, minimal, you know, category 1. You know, one thing about another worst case scenario with storm surge is deepening pressures increase surge because of waves, and storm activity usually, you know, increases when we have dropping pressure. So the Euro is definitely the most aggressive as far as possible hurricane. Let's look at the latest 18Z or 6Z Euro, and it's showing very weak. So man, it really ramps it up. So I haven't even looked at this yet. So it has almost nothing by the Keys, 1001, 996, 994, 996, 992, 993, 992 right off the coast there of Tampa Bay. This is low, 991, 982. Holy crap. So man, the Euro is going all in. That's why we have a hurricane watch. Man, I'm telling you, this would be tomorrow morning landfall. But man, the Euro pretty much messing with the forecasters. Hey, Katie Haley, how's it going? We're ready for our Christmas party yet, Katie Haley? We're gonna have a drunk donkey Christmas party somewhere this year. Hopefully, big storm again, and it's where we all get drunk donkeys. Hey, Hubbard Marina. What's up, Dylan? Grant, well, storm surge is going to be right around the same. You know, it's. I'm going to show you a graphic here in a little bit. But anyway, so I'm going to still talk about a lot. for sure. Let's see. So, what are we gonna look at now? I don't know. Yeah, Euro was Trent Hog. Yeah, Euro was terrible, and then it's all in. Let's see. Let's see what the UK is showing. UK used to be a good model. I wasn't very impressed last year at all, so not even sure it's worth it looking at. But it's showing 990. Oh no, that's not the same pressure. That's somebody else. That's up here. But same path. Canadian. We haven't looked at the Canadian in a while. What's the Canadians showing? What are you Canucks doing? Are you Lightning fans, hopefully? I guess the Lightning wants to win it all in Tampa Bay. Here's the Canadian not even showing anything. So maybe that'll pan out. But Canadian's getting back, I don't know. This Canadian doesn't have a good handle on the storm. It never has. Has a good story, good path. Everybody's got the same path. But the Icon keeping it in the 10th, but everybody's got the same path. So I don't know if we're going to see any more shifts east anymore. We've had 2 shifts east on the NHC chart. I think things are pretty locked in now as far as where it's going for that. All right, so let's go close some windows so we don't crash Chrome. I showed you all these maps. I'm not going to go over everything again, but there are maps I'm going to link that show you individual storm threats, wind threats, tornado threats. So I'm going to close that window. Let's just put on live satellite, and I'll get a jive of what everybody's talking about here. So anyway, so we're kind of in that lull moment that we kind of know where things are doing. What's Viper glasses? Emily just got Viper glasses, James. I didn't know what Viper glasses was. Oh, we can look at rain for sure. Let's look at that. Oh, good question. How far from center? Well, NAC does tell you that. You got to read it in their, I think it's in their public advisory. Tropical storm force winds extend out 70 miles from the center. That would be more east. So tropical storm force winds extend out 70 miles. Key West reported a wind gust of 48. Pressure estimated at 107. So still got high pressure. In order for this thing to do what the Euro is doing, it's going to have to start dropping pressures quick. But right now it's not. So anyways, tropical storm force winds extend out 70 miles. And all these advisories are posted online under the public advisories there. So, Kimberly, you want some more yard? Polk is under tropical storm watch because it's mainly a coastal event as far as sustained winds. So, tropical storm watch has to be sustained winds that they expect. It doesn't mean the squall lines won't be strong for you guys. Steering currents, Amanda, good point. Let's look at this stuff. So we did start picking up some shear in the area. So last night we didn't have this. Shear is increasing. So that's one negative factor keeping our system from intensifying. Steering map, here you go. We got this upper level low here to the west, and follow the winds, all kind of pointing now, really close to that Florida west coast skirt. So there's your current wind, upper level winds. This steering map is pretty spot on with the upper level lows and highs and what kind of steering current we could see with our system. So that's why we're not going to see this go to Texas or Louisiana. This thing is almost 100% going that NAC cone. So there he's at. Let's see, water temps hot, vorticity maps. Let's show that. We haven't shown you that one yet. The 500 millibar was definitely a little displaced to the east of our system. So here's a basic estimated look at where center is now. Here's Key West. And we'll go to 850 millibar winds. So there's kind of technically where your center is. Hunter is snoring. He's on the runway waiting to take off. The engines are purring. Hey, Mud Raider, I like your name. Thank you. Hunter. Hey, Hunter's snoring. Last night it was Julian and Hunter, and I got in trouble. Hey, Jackie, it's just a tropical storm right now, 60 mile an hour. It's expected to be a 70 mile an hour tropical storm off the Pinellas coast at 2 a.m. But there is a hurricane watch because 4 miles an hour would be 74. And technically, we would have a hurricane. So not a big difference. Hey, Nate, I haven't found one of those yet. Hey, Mike, what's up, Austin Barker? Time to go to ABC. Yep. Get your hurricane supplies at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. All right, so there you go. There's your 850. Now let's look at 500. Earlier, the 500 was to the east. Let's take a look. But, well, a little bit. So there's 850, and we hit the 500 button. There it is. So it's kind of stacked. I mean, it's kind of stacked. 500 is upper level winds more, and 850 is more lower level winds. So, you know, it's not perfectly stacked. 700 is going to be right smack dab in the middle. So, you know, not that bad as far as that goes. But what is bad for our system is this dry air impeding development on the west side. So all this right here is dry air. So we're starting to get another little convective burst here. These things do that. They burst. This is usually where you get pressure drops, like Toots said. But we're not seeing that yet. So there you go. There's another visible set. You can see now. You can start to see the lower level circulation here on weathernerds.org. Look at that, beautifully shown here. Your lower level clouds are here, indicating center somewhere here. But because of the dry air on the west side, right here, that's kind of working its way into it. So kind of indicative of a sheared system with dry air to the west side. That's kind of always been the forecast. So that's keeping intensification down at the moment. The euro now. Let's go back and look at the euro. The euro is going all out, saying hurricane. Now this close to a landfall, you would think that the euro would not be wrong. Let's go to, well, this is fine. Well, let's go to, I don't know if we got the same data on the 6Z euro as we do the overnight euro. We got southeast, I know that. Let's see if we got simulated. No, we don't. So I want to go back to euro and look at not southwest, southeast, and then we look at. Man, we don't even have it on that either. It's got to be full map. Bummer. So we're going to look at water vapor on the euro. And I know it's hard to see, it's way down here, but we're just going to see if it predicts that dry air. Yeah, see, the euro is predicting that the dry air is going to close off tonight and kind of disappear. So the euro, you can see that's that current dry air that we're seeing. So the euro is expecting the dry air to not be a factor tonight. Thus, the intensification into a possible hurricane. Somebody asked about rain. Sorry, I forgot. We're going to look at rain totals. from the latest Euro. Let's look at this real quick too. Maximum wind gusts. So the latest Euro is this. There you go. These are maximum wind gusts. Kind of hard to see, but reds 50 mile an hour basically. Dark reds 60s. Brown is in the 70s, and white's like 80, 90, 100. And we can look at it on windy. I didn't think I'd have anything to talk about since we got a storm almost bearing down us. But let's look at total precip. All right, total precip. Here's the rain path. And, you know, red is 3 to 5 inches. So, you know, there you go. That's a Euro track. A GFS track would be this, almost the same as far as rains go. So no huge accumulation because it's not stalling. But let's go look here at our windy and take a look at the latest Euro and winds, because this site's great. I'm logged in under premium, wind gust, and tonight, here we go. So here's 2 a.m. tonight. You can start to see, 60 mile an hour wind gusts, 50 mile an hour wind gusts, 40 mile an hour wind gusts. So this is, tonight. But we could have 90 mile an hour wind gusts out in the Gulf. All right, so this is 2 a.m. expected tonight on the latest Euro. Now, tides are tricky. Let me go back to what I posted earlier on tides. Tides, I don't think you can see too well, but I pointed to Clearwater Beach and Old Tampa Bay. Now, this is the NHC track for 2 a.m. But high tide in Old Tampa Bay, Old Port Tampa, is around 3 o'clock at 1.8, and it hangs around 1.59. Then it really shoots up toward 8 o'clock. So we got a pretty high tide in Tampa Bay from midnight on. And then the same thing with Clearwater Beach. It's already 1.8 at 12. 1.5 at 4, then it climbs 2.9. So we're under a high tide anyways, higher than normal. And storm tide is not storm surge. Storm surge is added to your tide values. So if we have a 5-foot surge in Tampa Bay, you add it to that, and we get almost 7 foot, which is a lot more. So anyway, so the tides are, what I'm getting at is the tides are rising into the morning hours. And if you go back to windy, here is, let's see, what time would that be? Here is 7, 9 o'clock in the morning. So, once our storm gets to the north, we start to get more of these chances for surge. So the heaviest surge is definitely, at least for Pinellas County northward, should not be at 2 a.m. It should be more into the daylight hours tomorrow when the water starts coming in around counterclockwise. So, and the wind gusts, pretty strong. I mean, this is the Euro. It's the most aggressive. I will tell you that. This is not. This is why we got a hurricane watch up. This is the, one possibility, but 87 mile an hour wind gusts. I mean, that's pretty significant along Pinellas County here. This would be 5 a.m. tomorrow morning if the Euro is right. And look, as it strengthens, look at that, 100 mile an hour wind gusts. This is the Euro, but it's a possibility. I only show wind gusts. I mean, that kind of, I guess it's kind of, but we can still have sustained winds here. 998 would definitely be hurricane. Well, that's a little too far. It'd be about right here. 994. So that's, like I said, that's borderline hurricane. These winds, you got to really look around. You don't even see 70, but you just know. That's why I don't like looking at these wind maps for this. The wind gust is more accurate. But 994 is technically borderline hurricane, and there you go. So there's your worst of it, 2 a.m. if the Euro's right. GFS is a little less aggressive, and more of a blobby mess as it comes by. Really blobby mess. That's terrible looking. But that's awful. But there you go. There's your wins here. This is midnight tonight. GFS is a little bit slower than the Euro, and we got the high winds tonight. Just a little more disorganized, but again pushing into the bay. This is midnight. And that's why we have storm surge warnings up and down the coast here. So Euro's worst case scenario, and we'll see what the NHC says about that at 11 o'clock. Not showing any signs of strengthening now, so that's a good thing. But you kind of have to watch it in real time. Radar is your best friend at this point in the game, and you can definitely see. Once the tail gets on the other side of Cuba here, and we start getting more chances of wrapping around, and this is the area right here that we have to really start to watch if we get any sort of strengthening. But we're talking 10 miles an hour. So, hey Johnny, what's up down in checking out Key West? Tammy Harvick and Punta Gorda. Well, you're getting a skirt right now. It's starting to rain. Alexandra Peterson. I don't think there's been a model that's been great this season. GFS probably was the most consistent with this system. What's up, Joe Bruce? How's it going over there, man? Where should I go first, Furman? Hey, that's a good supporter right there. Furman Generators, official generator of Mike's weather page. How fast is it moving? Well, I think it's about 12. I think we got 12, maybe 13. I don't know. 12 miles an hour. So we'll get a new advisory soon. We'll see what that is at 11 o'clock. I don't know if we'll have much change, honestly, at this point. Other than, if they go all in with the Euro, then they'll have to issue warnings. But I don't know if the Euro is the outlier at this point. I would think you would need more model support to say hurricane warning for maybe landfall. But the Euro is expecting the dry air to diminish some. Here's your 12Z models on a different look here. So pretty cut and dry. That's about it. The calm before the storm. Secure the lawn chairs. I already did, Chris. Hey, Greg Montgomery, how's it going, man? We love Furman. Yes, we love all our supporters. You guys rock. Christina, it's not uncommon to have a hurricane in July. It is uncommon to have one that comes from the middle Atlantic. That's very rare. This might be the farthest, I think, the earliest, farthest system to form in the Atlantic. The other two that have formed out that far in the Atlantic early season, basically, I don't know perfectly the path, but they both basically did that. This is a rare case where we have a July cold front that pulled up our system, and that's very rare to have a July cold front. So that was the bigger player in all of this. But let's see. Sometimes the Weather Channel has good graphics on potential power outages.
Has been issued for portions of the west coast of Florida. Here's the latest.
I'll turn that off. Nothing yet. So I'll look at power outages, but we will have power outages for sure, especially where those high wind areas are. If you go back to that NHC map that I showed, where the heaviest winds are definitely are where we're going to get the higher risk for tornado or power outages. So no tornado watch yet. I'm surprised. But according to this map, we're going to get one. What it says, brief tornadoes are possibly mainly over the western and central Florida peninsula through tonight in association with Tropical Storm Elsa. So brief tornadoes today. Anybody in the yellow. Pretty much dark green for that matter. We had one yesterday and down in Miami, warning popped up. Yeah, so there's that. No big changes other than I can see. We're just watching in real time and see what we got. Let's try a different radar site. See if this one pops up. Jay Woods, you know what's funny? You just mentioned that. Oh my God. I don't know if you're talking about Tampa Bay, but Julie will verify that we were unloading some of our stuff from our trip, and oh my God, it was hot. Like, it had that heat feel. I mean, I felt it during Irma when we had that. It just felt hot, you know, or it could have been the alcohol coming out. But it was hot. I don't know if it means anything. Hey, Juan Diaz, thanks a lot, buddy. If that's so. There's a current radar, by the way, coming in. So, anything else? All right. Well, we chatted over an hour. David, we're just going to have isolated squall lines coming through. You know, the best advice at this point is just pay attention to the radar. You know, future radar shows the potential for activity pretty much anytime, any place. You know, we always look at the HWRF or HRRRRRR model at this point. This one's a really good one, updates every hour. You know, let's look at tornado values throughout the day to day. I mean, you know, as this thing spirals in, you know, any of these cells can possibly bring in tornado, or, you know, so radar again, you know, these are going to be spiraling in all day. This is tonight, 1 o'clock, but, you know, we can have squall lines develop anytime during the day. This is all the way to 1 o'clock tonight. And then there we go. Even the backside tomorrow, we can have squall lines. So, you know, it's impossible to say who's going to get what, but pretty much with this setup, you know, much of the peninsula, and then maybe tomorrow morning, some of the panhandle might get a straight line coming down as it spins on out of here. So, that's that. Just stay alert, you know? So, anyway, I'm not trusting the euro. Who's asking that? I'm just showing the euro. I'm going to probably, the NHC will probably mention the euro. I would almost bet money that they'll be sticking to the watch, but they're going to mention the euro is the aggressive model showing hurricane, just to point it out, and you know, just let people know, hey, there's, you know, one of our trusted models is showing hurricane past Pinellas County as this thing nears landfall, you know, on northern part of Florida, northern Big Bend area. What's up, Yoel? What's going on, buddy? How's it going down south? MJO is completely not being a factor in this one. Shouldn't even, you know, I mean, it could be choking it, but that's a really negative pulse suppressed phase here of our MJO. We got another little kick up again here coming in middle of July, but this should, you know, help at least keep this from blowing up if we didn't have the wind shear and dry air. All right, what else we got? What's up, Blonde Blaze? The eye is going to road up 95. What's that? Oh, North Carolina, yep. I'm chasing. I am chasing. That's right, Patrick. I'm back to showing. I'm going to put out a statement. Category 2 hurricane coming, prepare. Hey, Kenzie. Well, the fact this is so disorganized, a track shift, the only thing a track shift's going to do is minimize the effects to the west. If we got an East Coast track change and this thing technically made landfall, let's say in Bradenton, Sarasota, then the effects eastward are the same. It's the West Coast, Florida, that wouldn't get much at all. So the track is really important for what you're going to get Pinellas County northward. And if you live locally, I highly suggest following Dennis Phillips on ABC. I'm sure he'll be covering this thing 24 hours. Dennis always supports us here at Mike's Weather Page, so please support him. He's amazing. And but there you go. Hey, thanks, Greg. Good advice, man. Buy me a beer. Problem, Jeff. I'll come there when we're not storm chasing, because tonight's going to be all about drinking bang, lots of bang, 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 and caffeine. So yeah, a lot of things are closing. People are talking about airports. I mean, that kind of stuff happens in real time. You just got to be careful. The Sunshine Skyway likely will close later when this thing inches up. So like tonight, for example, like if you're driving out, just be prepared. The Skyway likely will probably close as this thing approaches overnight. So don't get trapped and need to cross the Skyway Bridge. Yep, Barbara, Rule 7, right. Rule 7. The only thing I would be freaking out about is if I lived on any flood-prone areas that could experience this storm surge, because, like I said, we saw a lot of homes inundated with water with Ada. All right. I don't know. That's about it. I don't think hurricane hunters are out there right now. They're experiencing... Levi's site hasn't updated in a long time with the recon info. Take a look at this bad boy. This is a rain sandwich. This is actually pretty good. Let's look at this. Here, let's see. We got Elsa dedicated satellite. So let's look at the rain. Let's see here. We can look at. Do we have it on this one, sandwich? We do not. We just have regular satellites. All right, what else we got? Oh, here we go. So we can look at this one. This is the sandwich RGB. Let's open it up big. Take a look at it. So this is the last. Man, I hate how the frames jump around like that, but. You can definitely see the lower level spin. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's look at it a little better way. Let's just go to the Go East server and look at it without the jumping around, because that's giving me a headache. This is a good one. A little easier to see. It's to the south, but you get the idea. So we'll start to see the lower level clouds spinning away from the convection. So we're still getting the blow up, but we're just not getting it on the western side. And it will take convection on the western side to really help this thing if it was trying to develop. So it's going to try today. It's got all day to try to get. All it needs is 10 more miles an hour. What's Nowcast? I haven't used this one in a while. Nowcoast. Nowcoast NOAA.gov. I forgot about this one. Had this last year. This is another great tool that NOAA has on their site. Shows you watches and warnings. And you can turn things off. You can fast forward. It's got live radar. It's a good tool. A lot of good tools. All right, there's that one. But I wanted to look at... what did I want to look at? Oh, no, we looked at that. Hell, I don't even know. Oh, microwave imagery. That's what I was looking at. Let's look at that. This kind of gives you an idea of the last 24 hours if we get any sort of structural core microwave imagery. And maybe trying a little bit. Maybe. But anyway, that's it. We kind of know what we got. 5-10 miles an hour difference isn't going to change much except for headlines. Storm surge is the big question. We could get any shifts east, definitely changes the intensity on the coast as far as Pinellas County north. So we'll be watching for that at 11 on their next update. And go from there, right? Anything else brewing? Nope. There you go. I don't know. Hey, listen, so the number one question I get all the time is when I'm wearing my donkey shirt, they're like, hey, I want to buy one of those. Well, go to my store. I got a link right here. Mike's store. Everybody always wants to buy a Drunk Donkey t-shirt. So there they are. In a bazillion colors. Be part of Drunk Donkey Nation. You could be lime green. You could be red. You could be pink. You can get tank tops. I secretly wear one of those at night. I will not lie, no. I got farmer's tan. I would not look good with a tank top. All right. Cool. Well, I'll be out later today. We'll do a supporter video at 2 o'clock, probably 2:30, right when the latest Euro comes out. And thanks to all the Facebook supporters. Appreciate it. We got one big happy family online for sure. Most of the time, 99% of you are cool. Shelly, I'm not going to tell you if Shelly's in the 1% or 99%. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you learned a little bit. New advisory coming out at 11. I got everything you need on here. So, be safe. Just take it seriously. You know, watch radar and just hunker down, I guess. Get ready for the next big one. But all right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot. I'm gonna go drink some coffee. I need caffeine. Bye.